Hi everyone, I'm Londina and today I'm going to show you how to make your very own terrarium. Terrariums are great gifts for any occasions, holidays and birthdays. They really liven up any setting, an office, or it's a great household plant because it can be very low maintenance. I have a few terrariums here that I've made already before. The difference between these two is that this one's covered and this one isn't covered. The one that's covered is going to have a more humid environment and retain a lot more moisture, so you need a moisture-loving plant. Because a lot of plants, what they do when they have too much water in them is they'll start rotting. So a great plant for moisture-loving is a succulent, but there's a whole aisle in Home Depot and you can really find any array of plants to choose from. And that's what's going to make your terrarium unique. The plants that I have here are cactuses and a few succulents. What you're going to do is, the first thing you're going to do when you build a terrarium is you're going to choose what kind of plant you want to use. For first-time terrarium makers, I suggest using a succulent because they're very low maintenance, just like the cacti, but they're not going to prick you. For the cacti, you would have to wear some special gloves, and it's just not a good experience for first-time makers. The next tool we're going to need is a glass container. Right here I have two glass containers, and as you see, they're very different in shape and size. This one has no cover and this one has a top to it. I got these at Michael's, but you could really use anything. You could even use an old pickle jar or an old olive jar like the one that I have here. Once it's empty, it's perfect for a plant and its shape really will complement the plant growing inside of it. The next tool we're going to need is rocks. The rocks I have here are crystals, and they come in green, white, blue, and purple. I got these mixed together at Michael's. They have an aisle full of them, and you don't just have to use crystals. You could use pebbles, any kind of rock will do, even marbles, because really, as long as it serves its purpose, which is a place for the water to go to before it evaporates, then you can use it. The next tool I have here is dirt. The dirt I got at Home Depot. I got Miracle-Gro dirt. This stuff is perfect for planting. It has the minerals and the vitamins you're going to need for your plant. And you're going to have to buy it because when you plant a plant initially, it'll go through a shock. And if it has the proper vitamins and minerals, then the shock won't be as bad. And it might not even go through it. The next thing we're going to use is moss. Moss is really important, especially if you're making a closed terrarium, because the moss is going to retain moisture for the plant and it'll keep the closed terrarium from fogging up too much. This one here I have is green and it has a spongy-like texture to it, but they come in a whole bunch of different kinds of colors and textures, ropey from brown to dark green really. The moss I got at Michael's, they come in bags like these, and they're in the same section as the rocks. The next thing we're going to need to do is to make the plant. I'm going to use this one today, this glass container, and the first thing we're going to do is lay down the rocks at the bottom. You have to make sure you have enough rocks to cover up the bottom. These look really nice. And after you put the rocks, you're going to put some dirt. You're going to try not to get it on the sides of the terrarium because you don't want to dirty it up too much. There you go. And what it's doing is it's making a cake layer effect, because we're basically making different levels of different objects for the plants, which is just like it is inside of any natural environment. After we lay down the dirt, what we're going to do is we're going to put the moss. The moss you can put absolutely anywhere. You can bunch it up to the side or you can rip it apart, as long as we have enough. I really like it because it's vibrant. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a hole for where the plant's going to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with this plant today because I like how it's fuzzy. I think it's really cute, like a teddy bear. And you're going to take off some of the dirt on the bottom. You're not going to rip the roots off, but you're just going to take enough so that it fits in there really nicely. And we're going to put more dirt in there just to get it secure and pat down where the roots are. That way it will grow into the rest of the terrarium really nicely. This one's feisty because it's a heavy plant. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to water it, but we're going to put just enough, not too much. You have to be careful because once you put in water, you cannot take it out. And the good thing about using glass is you can check at the bottom how much water you put in. And that's how you make a terrarium. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them now.